Hi, my name's Keeley. I am a cuddle therapist, and this is the third video in my isolation series, Why People Are Isolated. Another big contributing factor to the isolation that is predominantly experienced, I know at the very least in America, is our lack of skills for long-term community building. One really prominent example of a tool that has cropped up that is antithetical to long-term community building, but is sort of billed as something that is used as community building, is the practice of cancel culture. Now, if you have had a strong reaction to me saying that word, let me go into a little bit more explanation of what I mean. The origins of canceling someone or cancel culture started as a response in consumer spaces, specifically in consumer spaces. What I mean by that is so people, there is a person in power who is who is unchecked in their power and privilege. They are causing repeated, unmitigated harm, and the only way for the consumer class to respond and stop the success, the monetary success of that person, is to cancel them by not purchasing anything or by not financially supporting that either individual or company or whatever. We're canceling that thing, but it's a consumer tool. But it then spread to community spaces. So if we don't like someone in a broad community because of their behavior, we can cancel them. That is not a community building tactic. Restoring and repairing, so restorative justice solutions, rupture repair solutions, those are long-term community building. They build more trust in communities. They build stronger, long-lasting communities. They build safer communities. Canceling processes of exile, processes of completely cutting people off, those are not long-term community building tools. They also come out of a relation between that consumer response and carceral reactions and carceral culture in this country. It's a marriage of those two practices to take that practice of canceling and put it into a community space where it doesn't belong. Adding education and resources, adding more investment and more nuance to conversations around conflict between people, building people's resilience to conflict management, building people's emotional intelligence to navigate these systems, trauma healing and trauma repair and being trauma informed. Those are community building tools. And so how this feeds into isolation is that we're not able to be our full authentic selves. We're not able to be our full messy or still learning or still practicing or still making mistakes selves in community. We have to isolate our authentic self. We have to isolate the fullness of who we are, lest we be exiled from our community spaces. And the other solutions like increased education, increased resources, increased resilience to conflict and conflict resolution practices, all those things take a lot of effort. They take a long-term arc as opposed to a short-term solution. Anything that is more prominent to long-term community building takes more investment and foundation. And that's also not the culture that we breed. Our culture is much quicker solutions. That's a trend coming in too. So it's only when we apply those things to our communities and hold ourselves accountable to including those practices, the practices of emotional intelligence tools, even things as cliche as like I statements, things like that, practicing assumption of positive intent, initially the assumption of positive intent, practicing education and resource adding, forgiveness practices, again, used in measure, used in appropriate moments. Those things are hard. Those things are hard to do, but that's how we create more community and less isolation.